Good afternoon. Glad you could be here today. So let's just get started. Today we're talking about iCloud.com on GoFor Lunch for October 17th, 2023, brought to you by GoFor Technology. I'm Roger Harmon, your host, and we are here to make your technology work for you. It's National Clean Your Virtual Desktop Day. So if your desktop looks anything like this, maybe it's time to clean it up. In fact, this holiday inspired me to make that the topic for next Tuesday's GoFor Lunch. So if you are looking for some help and some tips on how to clean that up and learn why it's not a good idea to have all these files on your desktop, especially if you're running an Intel machine, then join us next week at high noon for GoFor Lunch session on cleaning up your desktop. Well, back in November of 2022, Apple redesigned iCloud.com. So if you haven't been to iCloud.com in the last year almost, then you're in for some pleasant surprises. So you can now sign in. Of course, you could always do this with your Apple ID and your password. And we're going to emphasize this several times, that you need to have your Apple ID password available somewhere besides on your Apple devices. And we'll find out why that's important a little later on. So you can use any smartphone or any computer as long as they are connected to the internet to sign in to iCloud.com. And it looks like this. You just click on sign in and you are there. So the way it works now is they have the apps in tiles. And these tiles can be rearranged to suit your preferences. And the tiles are interactive. So let's go ahead and take a look here at iCloud.com. So that's what it looks like after I have signed in. And you can see here that I'm getting notifications. Even though I'm in Do Not Disturb, that doesn't seem to affect iCloud.com. So here we have my Mail tile, my Notes tile, my Photos tile, and then down here we have my iCloud Drive. So it's good to remember that this is only files that you put into iCloud Drive. Files that are on your Mac would not be accessible through iCloud.com, and that goes for your mail. You would have to be using an iCloud email address. So either a .iCloud, .mac, or .me address. For your Gmail and your other mail providers, you'd have to go directly to their website. So that's what it looks like, and we're going to get into a little more detail here in a second. So what you can access with iCloud.com is your iCloud settings, your calendar, your contacts, your custom email domain, and your Find My, which we'll go into in detail in a minute. There's also your Hide My Email. It'll show you all the different websites where you've used Hide My Email, iCloud Drive, iCloud Mail, Keynote, Notes, Numbers, Pages, Photos, and last but not least, Reminders. So all of these Apple apps are available on iCloud.com. So the apps obviously appear in the tiles. They're interactive, which means that you can actually perform tasks in that tile, like in the mail tile. You could read your mail, you could create a new email. And the way that you can rearrange these is by clicking on a button that says Customize Home Page. Now the button is not visible on the initial screen because you'll have to scroll down to see it. And then when you're done reorganizing your tiles, you click on Done in the upper left-hand corner. So let's see what that looks like. So the shape of the tiles is dependent on their position. So any tile that's in the top right position is a rectangle. This tile does not move. So then in the second section here, the tile on the left side is a rectangle. The tile on the right side is a square. So if we scroll down here, here's our Customize Home Page button. But wait, there's more down here at the bottom. So you can see here we have your plan that tells you how much iCloud storage you're paying for and how much it costs per month. Then you have a graph here in the center that shows you how much of your storage space you've used and what percentage of that total that is. And then here's another nice feature. You have some data recovery possibilities here. So you can restore deleted files from your iCloud drive. You can find bookmarks, contacts, and calendar events that you may have deleted by mistake and bring them back. But here we are on our Customize Home Page button. So when we click on that, you'll notice that the tiles start to shimmer, same as on your iPhone and your iPad when you're rearranging your app icons there. So then we can move them around. So we move this up here. Of course, we could do that without going to the Customize. So the real thing you can do with Customize is go up here in the upper right, and you can add a tile. You click on the little plus, then you get a choice of what tile that you'd like to add. So let's say we want to know which apps are available on iCloud.com. So we're going to click on that, and now we have all the different apps that we can have. We can go directly to those, or of course we go to the tile. Now if you want to get rid of a tile, then you click on the little minus sign here in the top of the left. You approve that, and it goes away. And then when you're done, you click on Done up here in the upper left. So that's how you customize your page. So you can also create a new email, a note, event, a reminder, pages, numbers, or Keynote document by clicking on the little plus here in the top right corner. So let's look at that. So here we are back at iCloud.com in Safari. Here's our little plus. We click on that, and we're going to send an email message. So now we get a interface that looks very much like it does on your Mac. So we're going to send this to Bob Wood, and we're going to call this Hello. And then we're going to click on the little circle with a white arrow pointing up in the upper right hand corner, and off it goes. So Bob will be getting that message here momentarily, but you can see here that the web version of Mail looks very much like your Mac version of Mail. You can see you have your inbox, you have your different folders like junk, then you have the folders that you've created down below. And so and then you even have undo send here, which I set for 30 seconds, so that 30 seconds just expired. So also up here in the upper right hand corner you have this little 4x3 matrix, and that gives you another way to get to the apps. And in addition, you can get to some other iCloud Plus features, including HomeKit Secure Video, and you can look at your storage, your plan, your data recovery. You can find out what's new on iCloud.com, and there's even a user guide right here at the bottom. So you can check on that and get up to date on what's happening on iCloud.com. So some applications for using iCloud.com, let's say you're traveling and you took a bunch of pictures and you want to show them to a friend, but all you have is your iPhone, so you'd like to have a bigger screen to display your photos on. So then you would just use your friend's desktop computer, and it wouldn't matter whether it's a Mac or Windows computer. You would just sign into iCloud.com on any browser, and then you could show your pictures. If you're in an internet cafe, then you could log into iCloud.com and do your mail, do your reminders, your notes. If you wouldn't need to print a airline boarding pass, you could go to the hotel business center and use iCloud.com to access that email and print out that boarding pass. And then if you are working on something where you need to access a different ID, Apple ID that you're signed into on your main device, you could sign that in using iCloud.com, so you wouldn't have to sign out of your main Apple ID. And also, if you were collaborating with somebody who's on a Windows computer, they could sign into iCloud.com and work together with you on a pages, numbers, or even a keynote document. So lots of ways to use it. So there's a couple of mail features that are only available on iCloud.com, and those are auto reply and rules. So let's see how that works. So if we go here into mail, you'll notice up here in the left panel, in the upper right hand corner of the left panel, you have a little gear. When you click on that, then you would click on settings. Okay, so now we're in settings, and you can see here you have your primary iCloud address. You can also have aliases if you have an iCloud account. So you can have up to 4 aliases. So here are my aliases. But here's what we want to look at is auto reply. So you would click here, this little box, to turn on auto reply. Then you would put in the date that your auto reply starts, the date that your auto reply ends, and then a message. So it would be something like, I'm currently away and not checking my email. I will respond when I get back. Another thing you can do here is put in a contact email of somebody else that might be able to get a hold of you while you're gone in case there's something urgent that pops up or an emergency. So then anybody that emails you will get this auto reply and know that you're not going to immediately be contacting them. So rules, which you can do, thank you for the thumbs up. Now rules you can do on your Mac. The difference here is we're setting up rules at the server level. So no matter the status of your Mac, whether it be on or off, if it's off, then any rules you put in on your Mac will not apply because your Mac is off. So the rules you put here on iCloud.com will apply no matter the status of your other Apple devices. So that's a good thing. The rules will always be applied because they're being applied as soon as the mail comes into the Apple server. And as you can see, you have other settings similar to what you have on your Mac that you can handle right here. So I think we talked about you have your folders that you created over here. So very similar to the experience you have on your Mac. So let's talk about Find My. So Find My traditionally has been one of the main reasons to know about iCloud.com. And you should make sure that all your devices, especially your iPhone and your iPad, are turned on as far as Find My is concerned. And if you don't know how to do that, let me know and I'll walk you through it. It's pretty simple. So if you're using Find My on another Apple device, so let's say you lost your iPhone, and you would then have the owner of that other Apple device sign out of their Apple ID account, then you would sign in to your Apple ID account, and you can also continue without having to use that 6-digit two-factor authentication code by clicking on Find My Devices, and that's a button that you're going to find at the bottom of the window. It looks like this. So you won't be able to do anything else, but you can use the Find My. So, story time. So last Thursday, I was in Puerto Peñasco, Sonora, Mexico, and we have a little gathering on Thursdays called Connections. So a group of us were there at a restaurant. Then we went to dinner afterwards, and one of our group discovered that her iPhone was not in her purse. Fortunately, I had my iPad in the car, and the restaurant we were at had Wi-Fi. So I fired up my iPad, I signed out, and Michelle signed in to her iPad, and it looks something like this. And so then we went to the Find My app, which you'll notice is in the dock. Second from the right is the little green circle with a blue, that's supposed to be a radar blip, I think, and a blue dot in the middle. So we're going to click on that. And here we have a map locating Michelle's iPhone. So if I pinch out here, we can see where it is. And we can also see 3 other devices. So here below the iPhone is a MacBook, and to the left is an iMac, and for some strange reason up here in the corner is her Apple Watch. Now I'm not sure why the Apple Watch is not together with the other devices, because probably they all are together. It may be something to do with the watch's radio is not as powerful. Anyway, so on the left here we show that we're looking at Michelle's iPhone. It shows the address, and then down below it says play a sound. So in a situation where you're close to your iPhone, like in your house, you can play a sound to pinpoint its location. If you're not so close, you can get directions back to it. We're only 217 miles away from Michelle's iPhone. And then this is a handy setting, notifications. If you can see that, it says notify when found, so you slide that button on. And then here's another handy one, notify when left behind. So this happens to me a lot. If I'm leaving my iPad behind in my car, and my iPhone will give me a notification that I have done that. And then down here we have mark as lost. So this is a temporary setting if you think you're getting your iPhone back. You click on mark as lost, and then the message comes up on the screen, and then if someone finds it, they can tap on the screen and let you know that it's been found. Then hopefully not a situation that you're going to find yourself in, but if you have determined that you're never getting your device back, at the very bottom here on the left, you would erase your device, which would save all of your personal information. So again, when you're borrowing somebody's device, when you're done, you want to sign out. You want them to sign out of their Apple ID on your device. So the way you do that in the case of an iPad is you go to your settings, you click on your name in the upper left-hand corner, and then you scroll down under Apple ID and you click on Sign Out. And then you need your Apple ID password, which I don't have. So I'm going to say turn off. And I guess we'll do this later because I don't have her password to sign out. So again, that password is very important. So if you're using a non-Apple device, then again you would sign in with to iCloud.com with your Apple ID. Again, you need to have your Apple ID password available. And again, as I just tried to demonstrate, you want to make sure and sign out of your Apple ID on whatever borrowed device that you might be using. So that takes us to questions. If you haven't already, please type your questions in the comments section on YouTube. And the Tucson Macintosh user group is meeting tonight with an Ask Me Anything session at 6 o'clock. The general meeting is at 7 o'clock, and we have a special guest. So if you'd like to join us, the Zoom link is in the Gopher Gazette, which normally comes to you at 7 o'clock every Monday morning. We had a little technical glitch yesterday, so it was a little late. And also, please remember to share that Gopher Gazette with anybody you know that uses Apple devices. So our special guest speaker tonight at T-Mug is Dave Hamilton of the Mac Geek Gab. Dave is a very knowledgeable Mac enthusiast and a good presenter, and he's going to tell us about the new products that were announced by Apple last month. So you are going to learn 5 new things when you show up to the T-Mug meeting tonight. And T-Mug is always on the 3rd Tuesday of every month. So I see that Bob has a question here. So the comment is that when you erase a lost iPhone, does it back up your data to iCloud? No, you will want your data to be already backed up to iCloud. So it's not going to automatically do that. So that data has to be backed up to iCloud. And of course, we always recommend the 3, 2, 1 backup strategy, where you have it backed up on Time Machine, you have it backed up on another hard drive by using maybe Carbon Copy Cloner or Super Duper, and then you have it backed up off premise on something like a cloud provider, the name of which I am not remembering. It'll come to me in a second. So anyway, need to have your data backed up before you erase it from your device. Good question. So if you have any other questions, please type them in. And if you think of a question after we sign off, you can always contact me by phone or email, and we will respond. I will respond to those questions when you send them in or call them in. So thank you very much for joining us today. Hope you learned something. Hope you familiarize yourself with iCloud.com before you need to use it, so you'll know exactly what to do. So have a great rest of your week. We'll see you here next Tuesday at high noon for GoFor Lunch.